Welcome back. The pandemic has affected just about every industry, including the auto industry. And although the car buying experience has evolved through it, automakers are still there to help you navigate every step of the process. Joining us to talk about the auto industry and the changes they're making is James Bell. He's the Director of Corporate Communications at Kia Motors America. Welcome to the show, James.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we've been talking about, the pandemic. It's been affecting industries across the board, not leaving out the auto industry. Can you talk about how the auto industry has been affected when it comes to production operations, the way you sell cars?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could start off with just making sure that our employees are safe. It's just a crazy time. Here I am sitting in my home speaking to you, so it's all a different world. Our manufacturing has been impacted. We have a factory in Georgia that had to be closed for about 2 months while we dealt with the pandemic. The car business is a dynamic place. It's always introducing new products, new technologies, new designs. It's it's an exciting place to work. I think what we've really seen is a transformation, not only in how we're working, but also in the retail environment or the transactional side of things. We now have dealers who were kind of pushing against the idea of having an online purchasing process, now embracing that because that's what their consumers are looking for. The idea of going online and doing your research, finding a local dealer, contacting the dealer, having the financing done online, and having the car delivered to your door. Just like we're buying groceries or mattresses or televisions,
Right.
these are all done in this way. Why aren't cars done that way? So we're seeing a big shift there. And the other side of the transaction, when it comes time to get warranty or service work done, it's somewhat similar. The vehicle's picked up from you. The work is done. It's then the car returned to you when it's all completed, and as after it's been disinfected. Or you drop it off and it's delivered to you after that. So yeah, that whole ownership experience, starting from the initial purchase through the time of owning it, I think is up for a big review, and we're glad at Kia that we're kind of ahead of that curve.
Well, I hear you. You guys have certainly had to evolve and figure out how to reach your customers.
Yeah.
What do you think the future is going to look like for the auto industry? You mentioned online sales. You think that's going to be here to stay?
I think it is. I mean, consumers are really not interested in going to a dealership and spending hours. I mean, let alone before the pandemic, that wasn't exactly an exciting thing to do. So I think there's really a transformation in saying, okay, yes, I'm interested in a car. And I think we're going to see more people interested in cars because public transit suddenly doesn't feel as safe
True.
or as comforting as maybe it once did. Being in a car by yourself, okay, maybe it's not the most efficient way of doing it, but it does impart a degree of comfort, which is very important. So I think there's going to be a lot of people coming back into the marketplace, maybe getting out of something that's less fuel efficient and older and starting to need more servicing and getting into a new car. There are no bad new cars today. Everything is fantastic at getting you up and down the road in a reliable and durable way. Now it's starting to look at each brand and saying how are they differentiating themselves? How are they becoming more emotionally bonded to their potential owners, and then rewarding to those that have bought them.
I hear you. Well, you talk about shopping online, but we can't leave out the test drive. Can we still test drive vehicles?
I think a lot of dealers are finding ways to do that. Maybe having one particular car. Let's say we're interested in a Kia Telluride, having one at the dealership that is just kind of in a constant state of being sanitized and used as the test drive vehicle, if you will. But again, the quality and the durability and the repeated quality that's seen in today's products. So many cars today are made primarily by robots. So to drive one vehicle is going to say a certain Telluride, to use that brand again, is going to be just like driving a different Telluride. There's not going to be a big difference between the two. So yes, Telluride test drives are very important. But I think that maybe less so, just as the vehicles become more consistently high quality.
Well, I have a friend with a Telluride, and I will tell you, she loves her Telluride. She loves the quality of it, and that quality is evaluated by the J.D. Power Initial Quality Study.
That's right. Yeah, so JD Power has done this IQS study, or initial quality, as you said, for many years. And what they do is they ask consumers who have purchased or leased a vehicle in the last 90 days to fill out a pretty comprehensive study. And in that study, it's ultimately aiming towards a certain point, which is you've decided to put your money down on this vehicle. You've decided to enter this long-term relationship with the vehicle. How is it doing so far? Are you happy with it? Is it delivering on the promise that the salesperson said it would? Are you happy every time you get in it? Are you using the technology on board? Is it a rewarding experience to own that particular vehicle compared to others you may have chosen? That is what IQS is all about. And we're excited at Kia because 6 years ago we knocked the business on their ear by winning this award and pushing off well-established brands like Toyota, Honda, Chevrolet, et cetera. Now 6 years later, we've won it again. So we're
Wow.
really impacting the business, showing people that if you've not been in the market for a while, it's a good time to kind of take your previous expectations and considerations and throw them out the window and just reshop the entire business. It's just a great time to go car shopping.
So with Kia, you guys have this great reputation, and you're saying it's a great time to go car shopping. Maybe you want to buy, you want to lease. Can you tell us a little bit more about Kia's reputation and how you guys have been able to change that the past few years?
I think it's a combination of things. We already had a kind of a shadow of being a value brand, good bang for your buck, a smart place to put your money. What we've done these last few years is say, okay, we've got that established. Now let's build the aspirational side. Let's make cars that look beautiful. So we went out and hired the best designers from the global auto industry. We want the cars to drive great. So let's get the best engineers. So we went out and found those. So we've got this fantastic combination of vehicles that are comfortable to your wallet and you feel confident about, 100,000-mile warranty, things of that nature, but then also very aspirational vehicles that if you get a new one and your neighbor says, hey, Aubrey, I say you got a new vehicle there.
Right.
What's going on? It's a Kia. You must have got a good deal on it. Well, yes, I got a good deal on it, but come look at this thing. Come drive this thing. It is a vehicle that will really kind of shake up your expectations.
Yeah, James, it's easy to say a car just gets you from point A to point B, but you start looking at it, it's hard to say that you don't want something that necessarily really looks and feels good. How can people get more information about Kias?
Well, that's real easy. Please just go to kia.com. Again, that's kia.com. There you'll see obviously a posting of all of our latest vehicles. But then also, if you're interested in one, it's an easy way to find a local dealer in your area and start that touchless transaction, as we discussed earlier.
All right, James. Well, it's been great talking to you and getting some insight on, shopping for a car right now, what the auto industry is looking like amid the pandemic. We appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.